Good morning, ladies and gents. Well, it's morning for me, very early, bright and cheerful. So I thought I'd come on and there's been a lot of interest in do-it-yourself, budget-friendly projects, and it's also in relation to paint swatches. So these what I acquire from the paint stores. I got another load of these and these when they were reconfiguring their paint store, and I guess moving one particular paint brand on and bringing in another paint brand, so they had no purpose or no reason no longer to use these. So I did a video tutorial on these and what I created, and I've had these, I don't even know why I purchased them, I'm not quite sure why, but they're really solid and heavy, and you can't use them on a junk journal. Maybe on a faceplate on the actual cover itself, but you can't create clips and hang them. They're very, very heavy, as you can hear the weight of them. So I turned these particular size, I don't have a packet open because I've used them all up for the demonstration, but these what I turned them into. Now I'll put a link down below so if you can see that. How gorgeous is that? And you can put an expression on there. I did a process video as well as a tutorial, so there's several on my YouTube channel, and that was just for camera's sake. That was the one I used for demonstration purposes. I couldn't find a vintage image right on hand, so I was trying to be prepared, and anyway, nitter chatter. Okay, time to move on. So these were the other paint swatches, and I've been going around gardens and just collecting flowers because a lot of us can't afford to buy products online, and especially with the new botanical interest coming on board, I press my own flowers. So these are only a week. They need 3 weeks, but I've taken them out of the press to show you, and it can take 3 to 5 weeks, and you know, so that's just only a little bit. I've got all the colours of the rainbow you can imagine, you know, just when you're walking past and, you know, pick a leaf, a petal or something, you know. So that's it. So what I've been doing, now there's plenty online, but this is actually making these. So what I tend to do is just fold them in half like that. So they've already got the rounded corners, bearing in mind that, you know, they do have the writing on. Now you can stamp them or cover them, but the whole idea is to try and make this as less, you know, less of a process than having to glue and stick and try and cover things up. So all I do is I just put a little, anyway, that's the process there, and what I do is, I haven't got one cut out. Starting to warm up here. It's spring and it feels like it's summer in Arabia. I have a plastic template. This is just the cardboard one for demonstration's sake, and pencil around it because you're going to be putting a border around, so you don't even need to rub the lead. They don't do lead anymore. What do you call them now? We used to just call them lead pencils, but you can, you know, put a pencil mark around, rub it out. Now I just use a Stanley knife and a ruler, which I had here, and make sure, because then I can use those to create these. So waste not, want not, or you can turn them into embellishments, little journaling cards, whatever, and you've got the backing there, so that's when you can add some stained coffee or tea day paper or jelly print paper on the back. There's, you know, tons of uses for these. Put them through your embossing machine, put them through your die cutters, and so waste not, want not. So that's all I use. I don't have a die. Where is it? I only had a small die. I'm bundling this morning because I haven't had my coffee. I use a small die to create that out. I don't know where I can get a bigger one, roughly about that size, maybe 2 inches by 2 inches. So I'm going to look around on the internet, but I don't want to buy, that's the thing. So I just use that, cut out, not to confuse you, cut out the square, and then you've got it open-sided. I'll do a tutorial if I'm requested, but what I came up with, or what I ended up with, was these. Now they're Specimen, whatchamacallit, thingamabobs. So, you know, I thought they looked quite pretty. So while sorry about that. Sorry about that, I'm back again. That was a blessing in disguise, that phone call. Yeah, I'm ecstatic, so ecstatic, and I'll share that blessing in later down the track. Yeah, I'm ecstatic. Anyway, where were we? What do you call these? Specimen labels? Specimen sample things? I'm just going to see if I've got some things I can put on. Okay, here we go. They're small enough, I think. Oh, okay, they're not really the Specimen. I did have actually some Specimen little label things, so I'm going to have to print some on the computer and print them out. And when I do, I'll create a PDF file and a document and upload it so that when you're making these, I'll also provide a sheet of words, which is basically a couple here. So if we put, here we go, got to do it the right way. Okay, so there, we can put inspire down there. And you know, if you add a little bit of lace and embellish it, a lot of my tutorials are just the basics, and at a later stage I put it all aside. When I feel well enough, I pull it out and finish it, because the process for me is very long and it's very tiring for me, so that's why nothing's ever completed. But as far as tutorials, if I'm requested to, then I commit to it. So there we go, we've got that. So say for example, hypothetically, that's a specimen label, specimen number 1, number 3, number whatever. We can put it on here. Now bearing in mind it might be a little bit longer, or use a stamp if you've got stamps, but these are all ideas for the budget friendly, the people who aren't able to acquire products like myself. At a time I just learned I'm a great hoarder, a great scavenger in the op shops, and just my mind is abundant with many ideas that you can take on and proceed further with them. So there we go. And you know, I don't know if you can sort of see that. All it was this. Now a lot of people are using laminating sheets and actually laminating the flowers through them, and I've tried that, and unless they're extremely flat as can be, and that takes about 3 to 5 weeks in a flower press, not a book, a flower press, so you're squashing it down, and unless you've got, you know, 20 books, heavy books on top of the bottom book. The laminating sheets weren't good, I've tried it, but I will proceed trying it at another time after the flowers have been there maybe 10 weeks. We'll see what goes. So these were just the folder things, and just a hot glue gun, that's all I used. Just so